Okay, I'm going to go ahead and conduct this process while I'm recording it for a couple of reasons. One, so that I can time it, and secondly, so that I can share the process that I'm using, which could then be evaluated to see if it's the best way to do it or not. So I've got 15 minutes of recording time, and I'll see how far I can get at 15 minutes. All right. So to get started, I've chosen a source for my search. It's going to be Hartford Sales Conferences. And so I've done a Google search for Hartford Sales Conferences. And now what I'll do is I'll go down and I'll find a Hartford Sales Conference. Here's one upcoming event, Hartford. And data connectors, I'm going to copy the URL. It's the Hartford Data Connectors Conference in June. So data, let's go back to that again. Connectors Conference. Connectors Conference. And then we're putting down the website, which I already copied. I just pasted it there, and then we know it's in June. And then we have to go back and find an email address. So we'll go to Contact Us, and under Contact Info, there's an info at Data Connectors, so I could copy that email address, and I can paste it into that place, and that's one down. Go on to the next one. What I'll do is I'll back out to the search Hartford Tech Security Conference. Okay, we'll check that one out. As soon as the URL comes up, I copy it. Hartford Tech Security Conference. I don't put the year. Um, and unfortunately, it says event ended. So I may not be able to get the information I need on this one, although they say view details here, so I might be able to get it. Okay, so I know it's in June. If it was last June, it'll probably be this coming June as well. So Hartford Tech Security Conference, um, Hartford Tech Security Conference. I pasted that in over there. We know it's in June. And now we've got to go back and see if we could find any information about how to follow up on it or talk to somebody about next year. Uh, Contact data connectors. So I found that. Now in this case, there's no email address, but instead um, there's a form. So I fill the form and I say, "Hi, I noticed your data connectors conference. Who hires the speakers and entertainers for that event?" And then I send the message. It's been sent, so I can close that, and I can actually back out to, to the search bar. And then when I go back to the spreadsheet, whenever I've got a form, I just put an asterisk and I write sent over there. So that one's done. Then I go on to the next one, and back here, we're going to find conference centers. We'll skip conference centers. Um, this might be a list of conferences, workshops, and seminars, um, which I might go to, but right now let's continue on and find ones that are for a specific event. Meeting rooms, upcoming events, Hartford Funds. Okay, so we'll click Hartford Funds. Again, I'll copy the URL before it finishes loading. Um, and then I'll find the name of the event. Which in this case is not easy to find. Um, what I would probably do here is I would probably click on the logo Hartford Funds, which will probably bring me to their homepage. And I would look to see if they have anything about their events. So I don't see anything. However, I could go to the Contact Us page. Um, so now, close that. I could take this URL. We know it's the Hartford Funds Conference. We could put the URL. I believe we knew from, I think it said it was in June. But now, well, as long as I'm here, let's find out how I can contact them by email. Again, it's a form, so again, I fill it out this way. I noticed your annual conference. Who hires the speakers and entertainers for your event? And then, let's see, four here, and submit that. I've got to select a topic. There's mutual funds. Just going to make a random selection there. And all right. So that went out. So now I'm going to back out of this Hartford Funds thing until I get back to the search. When I get to the search, I'm going to see if that was down here. Upcoming events. You know what? This one I probably shouldn't have even done. I didn't read it carefully, and it's not even for a conference. It says a conference call. So that was probably a weak choice. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this one and go on to one that I think might be more germane. So getting back here, I got to read these a little more carefully. Conference is the 114th Annual Hartford Premium CIO Forum. That might be worth looking at. So we're going to click on that. CIO Forum, attendees. So there are attendees, so it's obviously a live event. So again, I copy the URL, Premium CIO Forum, Premium CIO Forum. I put in the URL, I go back and I find out when it is. And actually, often I do that the first time out of the starting gate, so I don't have to go back here too many times. But if we don't see that, sometimes you have to go to an agenda and it'll have dates associated, but it doesn't. Although, if I right-click on this name, copy email address, Rachel Slattery, I've now got that information, and here it is in May. So I go back, I know it's in May. I just grab that, Rachel Slattery, and we're done with that one. So now I can go back out here, get on down, connect to Convention Center, press release archive Convention Center, VMUG, I got that already. So I'm going to go on to the next page. Often, if you've already got it, the title will be purple instead of blue, which is sometimes hard to see. But anyway, sales conferences, Imparta. So let's take a look, see what this is, Imparta.com. Is this a sales conference? No, this is a company that's advertising that they do work with sales conferences. So we'll back out of that. Same with this one, State Gun Sales. That's just news. Retail conference. Here we go, MSA Retail Conference. We can click on that. Now, it doesn't matter that the year is not this year because these things are usually annual. So we could just grab the URL, MSA Music, MSA Retail Conference, MSA Retail Conference, and it was in April. MSA Retail Conference in April. MSA Retail Conference in April. And then again, we've got to go back and find a contact person. So we can go to contact and see what pops up for us there. Slow page. Here we go. So now we have choices. We have a forum, but we also have some staff members. And here's the Expo and Conference Manager. That's who I want, Jennifer Anderson. So I right-click, copy email address, Jennifer Anderson. I go back in here. I paste that in, Jennifer Anderson. Not Jennifer Aniston. And we go on to the next one. So we're going to back out of MSA. And right back to this page. Menu facilities. We're not interested in facilities. Hartford meeting rooms. We're not interested. Conference center hotels. Mary Kay Career Conference. That could be a good one. Unfortunately, it's a Facebook page. which we're not going to get a lot of information about. We might check it. Let's take a quick peek and see what we find there. If we find information easily, we will. Career conference, that was 2015. And as I look down through here, there's not a lot of information about when it took place. I guess you could get creative and see. So happy to see one of my first stage. So this says March is when that post was made. So it's a good guess that this was in March. What we may have a hard time with here is finding a contact person to follow up with on this. So this is a judgment call. I'm going to get back out of this one and keep on going. This meeting will be held at Travelers, so OWASP. Again, copy the URL before we even get there. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. This is just like a Wikipedia page. So this is not about a particular event. So I'm going to back out of that. And you can see how this is somewhat trial and error at points. Hartford Training Room Rentals, Microsoft Hartford Customer Center and Sales Office, Data Connectors, Tech Security Conference. We already had that one, didn't we? Let's take a quick peek. I believe this is one we already looked at. Maybe not. What you're looking for, or maybe that was the other one. Anyway, that takes us through that page. We'll go on to page 3. If I start getting to the point where most of the leads on these pages are bogus, or about meeting space, or a news article or something, conference facility, list of speakers, if I keep on coming up with this sort of thing, then I'll probably do a different search, because it's starting to look like it's getting pretty thin for this search. American Athletic Conference Tournament to return. That might be worth a look. We're going to click on that. It's probably going to be a news article. And it is. However, I now know that there's something called the American Athletic Conference, which I might just copy and paste into the address bar and Google that. Official site of the American Athletic Conference. So now if I go there, I should be able to get all the information I'm looking for. So this is a little bit of investigative work. I now know that we already know that it's going to be in Hartford. What else can we glean from this? Sometimes you'll find the actual event listed up top. This one is not a particularly easy one to navigate. Events. So we might hit the events page there and see if we could find the annual event in Hartford. My approach, by the way, is when I hit a dead end like this, which isn't necessarily a dead end, but if it starts looking like it's going to take too long to explore it, I just back all the way out. Now, don't make the mistake of just backing out this far, because this is a Google page. This is just the Google page that I generated for this specific athletic conference. So I got to keep going backwards through the So somehow I got dead-ended in here. There we go. I'm back to my sales conferences again. So, and as you remember, we went down to here, Women of Faith. I do not do those kind of events. Society Room, the place, Life Insurance Sales Representative Job, and Family First Life. Free training, live conference calls. FFL, and the FFL sales conferences. Event Manager, Sales Conference, and Marketing Services. Go on to the next one. APWA, North American Snow Conference. Okay, we don't know anything about that yet. So we could open that up. And I'm going to take down the URL, copy it. The APWA North American Snow Conference in May. APWA North American Snow Conference, May. And now we wanted to find out how to reach these people. Contact us online. And it's a form. So again, I have this thing that autofills all the fields. It saves us a lot of time. This is where it gets a little tough, because they're asking us to tell them what we're looking for. And maybe we could avoid filling out